Welcome back, dear students. Come to the second part of our biology classes, class 8. We already studied that transport of water and minerals. Transport of water and minerals in plants occurs at three levels. Absorption of water and minerals by individual cells, from soil by root hair. Short distance transport or movement of water through root tissue, cell to cell movement in cortex of root. Long distance transport or conduction of water through plant body or ascent of sap. What do you mean by ascent of sap? Ascent of sap means upward movement through xylem vessels. See the figure. Absorption of water by root hair is the first step. Second step, cell to cell movement of water through cortex of root. See that second number. Then third number, you can see that upward arrow mark there. It shows that ascent of sap or conduction of water through stem to leaves. You already remembering like that we are giving water to the ground level only, but water reach up to the top of the leaves. Now on the screen we can see the structure of a plant cell. It is the very simplest diagram. Here you can see cell wall, cell membrane, mitochondria, vacuole, chloroplast, cytoplasm, nucleus, etc. So you know that cell wall is present. That shows that it is the simple structure of a plant cell. So what is the speciality of cell wall? Cell wall is permeable in nature. So what do you mean by permeable? Permeable means it can allow any substance to enter. That means that there is no restriction. But you can see cell membrane also. What is the speciality of cell membrane? Cell membrane is selectively permeable membrane. What do you mean by selectively permeable membrane? It allows only certain molecules of a solution to pass through its pores. That means that it is restricted to pass the substance. Once something is entered means it will remain there. It can't come out. Then I also want to tell you about permeable membrane. So already I said that cell wall is an example of permeable membrane. It allows all substance to enter. That means cell wall. And you remember that cell membrane is a selectively permeable membrane. Now we can say that vacuole. It is the largest part of a plant cell. It is there a kind of liquid, is kind of watery liquid present. So that is known as cell sap. Inside the vacuole, what is present? Cell sap present. It's a watery liquid contained in the vacuole of the cell. Let us see now more adaptations in plants. So especially here we can see it's already studied like that absorption of water and minerals in plants by root hairs. Water and dissolved minerals are absorbed from the soil by specialized cells, that is known as root hair. What is the speciality of root hair? It is an extension of epidermal cell of the root. And also you remember that it is covered with very thin semi-permeable membrane. That I already told you that cell membrane is an example of that semi-permeable membrane. And also you remember that inside the cell membrane it is filled with the cell sap. So that is the function of cell sap. Cell sap is a watery liquid and contained in the vacuole of the cell. Then once more I will tell you what is semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane is a selectively permeable membrane which allows only certain molecules of a solution to pass through its pores. Larger molecules are not allowed to move out. Examples are parchment paper, urinary bladder of sheep or goat, egg membrane and cellophane paper are used as semi-permeable membrane in the laboratory. Now we are seeing adaptations in root hairs for water absorption. The root hairs are especially adapted for absorption of water because semi-permeable membrane of unicellular root hair permits water and mineral molecules to enter into the cell sac but does not allow them to come out. Here in the figure, it is clearly you can see that a number of root hairs present. Enormous number of root hairs provide larger surface area for absorption, and it's the expanded form also shown here. Here you can see that fully grown root hair, nucleus present, vacuole present, cytoplasm, cell membrane, cell wall, epidermal cell, all are visible there. And also new root hair growing from epidermal cell also visible. Then what is the next property of this root hair? So that cells are present in root hairs has higher salt concentration than the surrounding of soil water, and large vacuole can absorb much water. And the next property is that root hairs provide a larger surface area for absorption. That means larger the surface area, greater is the absorption. That means that in a plant, number of roots are there, and each number of root contain a number of root hairs. It provide larger surface area and more absorption. Now in your textbook, page number 10, an activity is given. It shows that only the roots absorb water. So here 4 beakers provided, 4 test tubes are there, and marker, water, cork, 3 balsam plants and some mustard oil are there. In the first one is a closed one, and second one containment plant, and third one and fourth one also with plants. Fill water in the test tubes ABC to above 3/4 level and only a little amount of water in test tube D. And you remember that here the root of the plant is not reached up to the water. Fix a cork firmly over the mouth of test tube A and leave it. Take 3 small sized young balsam plant with their root intact. Wash the roots under tap water. Insert them in test tubes B, C, D in a manner that the roots get fully dipped in water in test tubes B and C, but remain well above the water in test tube D. Why it is like so? Above the level of water means that roots are not touching with the water. So that means that roots can't absorb any water. Then after some time what will happen? That leaves will not get any water at all. In test tube C, add a few drops of redding. Add a few drops of oil like mustard oil in test tube B and C, which would float on the surface and prevent any loss of water by evaporation. You know that in summer, if that some water is placed outside, easily water can disappear. So what happened to that water? It is evaporating. To stop like evaporation, that oil, you can see that if that oil is on just above the water, that is floating above the level of water, and it will stop evaporation. So that's why these kinds of arrangements are there. Mark the level of water in 4 test tube after some time. So after some time, or after a day, after 2 days, then you can see that water level remains unchanged, because there was no plant to absorb water in the case of first test tube. So and also it is closed with a cork. So there is no loss of water. In the test tube B, water level falls because water was absorbed by the plant through the roots dipped in water. In test tube C, water gets into the plant through the roots and reaches the leaves as the path is seen due to red color. So then, while you drawing this figure in your copy, you remember that only in that C, that means that the third test tube only colored water. In your books may be color given, but you remember that only in that third test tube is filled with the colored water. In test tube D, there was no change in water level as the roots were not dipped in water. That means only very little water, so that roots can't absorb any water. Now we are going to study about different types of absorption. That means that methods of absorption we are going to study. So they are classified into three. They are diffusion, osmosis, active transport. At first we are going to study about diffusion. Root hairs absorb water by diffusion. So what is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of molecules from higher concentration to the region of lower concentration without using any energy, and it is also called by the name passive transport. Once more I will tell you, diffusion depends upon higher concentration to lower concentration, and also remember, so like a plasma membrane or that permeability of plasma membrane also have an important role. That means that I already told you that. So our cell wall, what was the speciality of that cell wall? Cell wall is giving full permission to entry. That means that it allows all substance to enter. So like a condition is there, then only diffusion possible. Once more I will tell you, diffusion is the movement of molecules from higher concentration to the region of lower concentration without using any energy. Now I will tell you some examples of diffusion. You may be experienced like that perfume is sprayed in one part of a room. So after some time it diffuses, so we can smell it everywhere. And another one example also I can tell you. A drop of ink diffuses throughout the water in a glass, so that eventually the entire glass will be colored. How it is possible? So it is possible because water present in that glass, it allows, so in between their molecules there is space is there, so that is why that ink or color spread the entire liquid. Water from the soil enter the root hair by simple diffusion because concentration of water is in soil is more than that in cell sap of the root hair. So then we can remember diffusion is occurred there. Otherwise, once more I will tell you that what is the definition of diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from higher concentration to the region of lower concentration without using any energy. So there is no importance to energy, and also it is also diffusion is also called by the name passive transport. The second part is known as osmosis. Second method of absorption is known as osmosis. So what is osmosis? The diffusion of solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from the region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration is also called osmosis. So here you have to remember that diffusion is also occurring from higher concentration to lower concentration. But in the case of osmosis, so while that flow occurred, in between them what is present? That semi-permeable membrane is present. So earlier also I told you that one example of semi-permeable membrane, cell membrane is an example of semi-permeable membrane. The cell membrane of root hairs act as a semi-permeable membrane through which water molecules from soil enter the cell sap. Next, the third point is that active transport. The transport of molecules and ions against the concentration gradient by using energy is called active transport. Now, once more I will tell you the difference between diffusion and osmosis. See the figure very carefully. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Then what is osmosis? Diffusion of solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration is called osmosis. I think it is clear to you. Next, shown that what is the difference between passive transport and active transport. I already told you that diffusion is an example of passive transport. That means that the definition is same only. Diffusion of molecules from higher concentration to lower without using energy is called passive transport. And what is active transport? The transport of molecules and ions against the concentration gradient by using energy is called active transport. You also remember the mineral ions move from their lower concentration in soil to higher concentration in the cell sap or root hairs, which is against concentration gradient. Energy is used for the transport of molecules against the concentration. Now we are going to study about ascent of sap. So already I told you that from the roots to leaves, water reached by ascent of sap. The upward movement of water and minerals through the stem up to the leaves is called ascent of sap. Here you can see that is in solution. So that means the colored solution is there. So then that shoot, that stem and red colored veins to that leaves. After some time, due to that the presence of colored stain, what happened to that leaves? Slowly its color changes. It shows that root absorbed water and reached up to the leaves. The water absorbed by root is also called sap because it is actually a dilute solution of minerals. Once the sap has reached xylem vessels, it starts ascending upward through xylem vessel from root to leaves. Here is one activity also given in your book. It's shown like that ascent of sap occur through xylem vessel. Slowly color change occurs to the flowers, so that you carefully read that portion. Dear students, you have to read the chapter thoroughly.